Hey guys, so welcome to the first pre-recorded lesson of the first pre-recorded math lesson. So let me open a new file so we can start. Just give it a minute. Okay. So I'm going to start writing. Okay. So these pre-recorded sessions are me teaching the new concepts. So the goal is that you watch these, rewatch them, pause them, take notes while you watch them, as many times as you need, so that during the live lessons that I'm going to have twice a week, so these live lessons are going to be for only for students who need questions answered or who need additional guidance. Okay, so these live lessons are only for additional guidance. Therefore, questions Q&A. Okay? So get your notebook out. You're going to need your notebook for all of these pre-recorded sessions. You're going to need your notebook. You're going to need something to write with. And if you're watching this, that means you're on YouTube. So I'm uploading all of these pre-recorded lessons on YouTube. So now if I can go ahead to the next page. No, we're not week 1. Oh, we're on week 2 now. Okay, so I want to talk about week 2 just for a little bit. So week 2, ignore this, ignore the dates. Obviously, we're in September now. But we are going to be talking about mean, median, mode, and range. Also, like all this, just ignore it. So just look at the lesson. Okay, mean, median, mode, and range. This should be a review for you guys. If not, that's okay. Review. So we're still in review mode, okay? I'm going to go over what each of these are. I'm going to do examples. We're going to do, you should be note-taking, okay, while I'm speaking. And the great thing about videos, math videos especially, is you can always pause, replay, go, if you need additional help, you can always write your question down or put like a question mark in your notes so that you know that's where you need help with. Okay, so let's go. I wish they showed me the friggin'. Okay, so this is pretty much everything we're gonna be. Oh, that's week 3. We're on week 2 still, so let's go to week 2. Okay, so here we go. there are 4. There's mean. So let's talk about mean and median first. So mean, let me undo that. Do I have a highlighter? I don't think so. Oh well. So mean, well, wait. Mean is just another way to talk about average. Very important. Very, very important. So this is how you figure out the mean or the average. So say you have numbers 9, 3, 1, 8, 3, 6. You have this group of numbers. And this could be anything. This could be like the number of pets that different people have. This could be the number of, like, I don't know, outlets in every room in your house. Like these numbers represent literally almost anything. And so say this is your group of numbers, 9, 3, 1, 8, 3, 6. So the way to figure out the average is right here. So write this down where my pointer is. To figure out the average, you just add up all the numbers and then divide by the number of numbers. So see how they added everything first. If you have duplicates, you add every time like that number shows up. Like you don't add just that 1 3. You add every time. You see how they added both 3s. And then you get 30. This is only the first step though. The second step is you take that number and you divide by the number of numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 numbers in this list. Not 5. There's 6 numbers. So you have to count that 3 once. Like 1, 2. So 6 numbers total. So 30 divided by 6 is 5. So the average or the mean is 5. It's really, really, really simple. Average is used out of the 4, out of mean, median, mode, and range. The mean is used the most often in real life. These not so much. In real life, in like daily, regular world, the mean is very, very important. It's the most used. So, let me erase all that. I don't need that. Okay, so now let's talk about the median. The median, it's a little different. There's like barely any math that needs to be done. So the same set of numbers. So what you're going to do first, so write this down, that whole thing. Order the set of numbers. The median is the middle number. And median sounds like middle, right? Median to me it sounds like the middle. So the most important step is you have to order the numbers first. So from least to greatest, you order the numbers. So the tricky part about median, well, the first tricky part, you have to order, oh my gosh, order the numbers. Okay, the second tricky part about the median is that you have to list every time. Like, you can't just put, like, the duplicated numbers once. You have to put it, like, obviously, if 3 shows up twice, you have to put it twice. Okay, so do not skip repeated values. Okay. The third tricky part about median is, so right now, you have 1, 3, 3, 6, 8, and 9. Okay, so what I like to tell people when they figure out what the middle number is, you start here and then you cross on the other end. So this is how you make sure that everything, like, you're not like, you're going towards the middle. Then you cross 2 out. Okay, so now you have 2 left over in the middle. And so all you have to do now is if you have 2 in the middle, then you add them and then divide by 2. Okay, so that's how they actually got 4.5. And I'll show you. So 3 plus 6 equals 9. And then 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. This is the median. But say you have another example. Okay. Say you have a different list of numbers. 2, 3, 9, 15, and 22. So here you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5 numbers here. And so I want to know, it's already in order, and I want to know what the median is. Okay, what is the median? And so the median, so I cross out the ends, and then I make sure, cross out that one, crossed out. Okay, I have 9 left over. Okay, so my median is 9. And so it's really, you only have to do this. You only have to add them and then divide by 2 whenever there's 2 numbers in the middle. But whenever there's just 1 number in the middle, that's your answer. It's just 9. Okay? So make sure you have all that. And we're going to go to the next. Okay, so now let's talk about mode and mode and range. So we talked about mean. Talked about mean, also known as average, right? Talked about median, the middle. Okay, so now we're going to talk about mode and range. Okay, so let's go ahead and... No, let me leave that there. Okay. So mode. Mode. Literally, it literally is just the number that shows up the most. And so in this case, that number is 3. Okay. Because it literally, like, that's all it is. It just shows up. And it sounds like most. Okay. I think that's really simple. Sometimes there is no mode. There is no mode. So say if, here's an example. Okay, so say if I have like 2, 3, 9, 12, and then 22. And that's my list. There's obviously no number that shows up the most. They all only show up once. And so your mode would actually be none. Okay? And so now, let's talk about range. Let's do purple. I like purple. Okay, range. Range is literally just going to be subtraction. So it's the difference, write this down right here. It's the difference between the biggest number and the smallest number. Biggest minus the smallest. Biggest minus the smallest. It's literally that, like, that's literally it. So with that same set of numbers, obviously the biggest number is 9 and the smallest number is 1. And so your range would be 8. It's really, really simple. And so let's actually review what we just learned. So in a summary, the mean is literally just the average. Okay, the median, you gotta put, it's the middle number. Okay, mode, the one that shows up the most. And then the range, that's the biggest number minus the smallest number. Okay. I wish I had a highlighter. Do I have a highlighter? No, I don't think so. Okay. So that's the mean, the median, the mode. Get out of the way. And the range. And so literally the only one you have to remember to order them is the median, right? You have to put them in order. Oh, you can't see that. Oh my gosh. Sorry, give me a second. Okay. So you have to put the median in order. You have to put them in order first. I'm sorry about my handwriting. So let's do actually one more example before we go on to factorials. Okay? So let's okay, now then. So say I have the list of numbers. Here's an example. I suggest writing this down. Say I have a list of numbers 6, 3, 1, 11, 15, 2, and 0. Okay, so I personally like to put them in order first. Okay, that way I don't forget. So let's put them in order. So from smallest to biggest. So that's 0, got 0, 1, cross out the 1, 2, cross out the 2, 3, cross out the 3, and then the next biggest number is 6, and then the next biggest number is 11, and then the next biggest number is 15. Okay, so this is our list. Biggest to smallest. And so now, I like blue. The mean. Okay, the mean. So we add up all the numbers. Why am I not writing? Oh. Add all numbers and then divide by the number of numbers. So how many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 17. I just added those, plus 15. Let me move that all the way up there. Can have some room. So that's 1, that's 5, and that's 32. So that's 38. Okay. So now okay. So now we said we're gonna still, so we added them up and we got 38. 38. We're not done yet. We have to divide by the number of numbers, which is 7. And that's honestly, that's a hideous number. So I would just accept the answer as this. 38 over 7. You cannot reduce this. This because 7 is a prime number. Right? 7's not very friendly. And 38, he's a little more friendly, but not that friendly. 7 is like totally, like, no. Okay. And so, well, I mean, 7 is prime, but that's not really the reason we can't reduce it. 7 just doesn't go into 38. 7 goes into 35 and 42, but it doesn't go into 38. And there are no other factors, so because 7 is prime, there's no other factors. So only 7 and 1 multiply get 7. So it's stuck like that. That's our answer. That's the mean, 38 over 7. Okay, and so now let's do the median. I'm about to erase this, so go ahead and pause if you want to write everything down in the blue, because I'm about to erase everything in the blue. Okay. Oh no. Oh my god. There we go. Okay. Okie dokie. So now let's do the median. The median is actually a lot easier because we've already put these numbers in order. Remember, the median is the only one where we have to put them in order to get the right answer. So if you remember, median sounds like middle. So once you put them in order, you just find the middle number. So, okay, that's crossed out. Then the 11 and the 1. And then 2 and the 6. And then you're left with 3. 3 is the median. Mode. Remember, mode is the one that shows up the most. Okay. So, do we have a mode? Do we have a mode? It does not look like we have a mode. No mode. And sometimes we can have multiple modes. But just know that mode means most. Okay? Last part of the example is the range. Range, if you remember, from biggest to smallest. And so the biggest number is 15. Smallest number is 0. And so your range is 15. Not too bad, right? Okay, so make sure you have this example. You have median. You have median, you have mode, you have range. Okay, I'm about to move on to the next slide. So pause the video, finish writing down this example. And we're going to go on to factorials now. Okay, we're going to go on to factorials. Oh, we had workspace. That's funny. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to do factorials. So go ahead and start a new little page in your notebook. Factorials. It sounds hard, but it's really not. Okay. They're actually kind of fun. Okay. So now let's go to the next slide. Okay, so I do want you guys to write everything that you see, you should circle. I want red on there. Okay, so I wish I could move this. Okay, so a factorial is the exclamation point. So that's this thing that you see everywhere that you're seeing. That's what it's called. It's an exclamation point. In the math universe, hard. The exclamation point is called a factorial. And so I want you to write everything down. Actually, everything that you see. So I'm going to read. The exclamation mark tells us to multiply backwards. And so that's really all it is. So this example right here, 4 factorial is equal to 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay, so that's 12. That's 2. Multiply, you get 24. 6 factorial, same exact thing. So you start at the number that they give you. 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And you're going to get 720. So these numbers, the answers get big really fast. I like to do them like in pairs. So I know that's 30, I know that's 12, I know that's 2, and I know that's 24. So 30 times 24 is 720. Okay, and then this special one, 0 factorial, is equal, this is a special case. Okay, and so this is very important. 0 factorial is equal to 1. 1 factorial is also equal to 1. Okay, these are both special cases. And the reason that we actually didn't include, we're actually never supposed to include times 0 times 0, is because what happens when you multiply a number by 0? It becomes 0. And so there's no point, like we're not ever supposed to include 0 whenever we're doing factorials, because then it's like, okay, then all our answers would be 0. So you always go from the number they give you to 1, and then that's it. Right? So moving on. Next slide. What's that? What's that? Okay, so we have 2 more slides. Okay, so, oops. So let's go ahead and do some examples. So just for fun, we're going to do evaluate. You should be writing this down in your notebook as an example. Evaluate 5 factorial. Okay? So 5 factorial is equal to 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And so, like I said, I like to do them in pairs. So 5 times 4 is 20. 3 times 2 is 6. Drop that multiplication sign. And this, we can just forget about. Right? Because anything times 1 is literally just itself. So now we're down to 20 times 6, which is 120. And that's our answer. Okay? I think it's pretty it's not self-explanatory. I think it's pretty simple. I think they're fun. I think they're a great way for you to brush up on your multiplication skills and your times tables. Okay, which you should all be very good at, times tables. Let's move on to the last slide. And we're going to talk about, actually, you know what? Actually, yeah. Let me move on to the last slide. This is the last slide. We're almost done. Where are you not going? Okay, here we go. More examples. Okay, so now let's do some where we're simplifying. And so say I have an example where it's like, okay, 3 factorial, 5 factorial over, you know what, actually, I want to undo that. Let's say 4 factorial, 5 factorial, all over 3 factorial. So it looks hard, but I promise, like, it's not. And this is actually one of the more complicated examples, or one of the more complicated problems that you're going to see on the worksheet. But, hold on, am I still recording? I need to see if I'm still recording, I'm sorry. Yeah, still recording. Okay. So if you can do this example, then you're going to be fine. Okay, so first, let's expand. So let's stretch out what this problem is actually asking us. So 4 factorial is equal to 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. right? And 5 factorial is equal to 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And then 3 factorial is equal to 3 times 2 times 1, right? And so, so let's do this. So now we're going to write them all side by side. And then I'll show you what I mean by simplifying. So 4 factorial goes first. So 4 factorial, undo. 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Times, so there's an invisible times there, times 5 factorial. 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Over 3 factorial. 3 times 2 times 1. So what can I do to make my life easy? Well, first I can cross out all these ones, right? This is the fun part. Cross out, you're going to start crossing a whole bunch of numbers out. So cross out all the ones, and I want to cross out as much as I can before I actually start multiplying, right? I want to make my life easy. So the trick is, here's the trick, any number that you see on the bottom and you see it has a partner on the top, then you can cross those out, right? Because 3 divided by 3, this symbol right here, this line, this dividing, this fraction, whatever you want to call it, it's telling you to divide. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. So that's why I can cross those out. Okay? So I cross out those 3s. I cross out all those 1s just because they don't do anything to my final answer. And I'm also actually going to cross out those 2s. Right? So you cross them out in pairs. Cross out in pairs. Alrighty. And so we're almost done. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. Actually, let me keep it right there. Okay, so my new problem is 4 times 5 times 4, 4 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2. And there's nothing on the bottom. I have made my life so much easier. So this ugly problem has turned into this. Okay, so now I like to do them in pairs. So that's 20. And I know that's 24. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times 2 is 24. So now 20 times 24. So 24 times 2 is 48. Add a 0, your answer is 480. It's ugly. This is your final answer, 480. So that's the final, that's like from top to bottom. So go ahead and pause the video here just to make sure that you understand this example. Make sure you have everything written down. And so, yeah, so that's the end of the video. Make sure as I'm speaking, you're writing. And so I'm going to upload this to YouTube. I mean, if you're watching this, it's on YouTube already. So if you still have questions, make sure that you know like exactly what your questions are so that you can bring them to the live review lesson during the Google Meets on, I think it's on Wednesday. When is it? Let me double check. Yeah, it's on Wednesday at 9 a.m. and then Thursday Thursday at 9 a.m. So that's the end of the video. That's me. So I want you to that's me. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.